Genoa City heats up as Lauren and Michael's 20th anniversary celebration takes an unexpected twist when an uninvited guest shakes up their night. Meanwhile, Lily finds herself rethinking her complicated history with Kane, just as Sharon steps in to question Sienna's true motives. Off-screen, Melissa Ordway shares a heartfelt look at her whirlwind holiday season, filled with chaotic travel, family traditions, and big gratitude. The drama is rising on-screen and off, and fans won't want to miss a moment. Welcome to Celebrity Gossip 24 Hours, where the drama unfolds and the stories captivate. Join us as we delve into the intriguing world of Young and the Restless, revealing the untold tales and hidden truths behind the headlines. Y&R News Story: Lauren and Michael's 20th anniversary takes a surprising turn as an uninvited guest disrupts their night. Genoa City was the backdrop for a milestone celebration on The Young and the Restless as Michael Baldwin and Lauren Fenmore marked 20 years of marriage, a night meant to honor their history, rekindle their spark, and look forward to the future. But in true Y&R fashion, even the most romantic moments come with unexpected twists, emotional landmines, and an interruption that nearly derailed everything. A private evening turns into a grand gesture. When Lauren arrived at the Genoa City Athletic Club, she was already curious about her husband's whereabouts, and even more curious about why he'd vanished for most of the day. That question was answered the second she stepped into the dining room and discovered the space had been reserved just for them. At the center of the room was Michael, waiting with a fully set blackjack table and that unmistakable glint in his eye that only meant one thing: a surprise was about to unfold. The moment she approached him, the tone shifted from playful intrigue to heartfelt nostalgia. Michael flipped over several cards, each one revealing a message celebrating their 20th year of marriage. It was simple, personal, and perfectly tailored to their shared history, a callback to his elaborate proposal years ago, only this time stripped down to the intimacy he knew she preferred. Lauren, touched that he'd gone all out without going over the top, settled in with him to revisit the highlights of their relationship. Instead of a flashy recreation of their past, he aimed for something deeper, a night of truth, memories, and connection. A walk through their best moments. What began as a romantic surprise soon turned into a journey through the best chapters of their marriage. Michael brought up the moment he first kissed her in his old office, a time filled with nerves, charm, and a hint of mischief. They laughed about the playful games they used to share, including some flirtatious wordplay that once left them tangled up in both teasing and passion. They toasted to their early days, swapped memories of their Vegas-style proposal, and even joked about whether streamers and Elvis impersonators should have made a comeback for the occasion. Their banter felt like a warm return to the couple fans fell in love with decades ago. As the celebration continued, they reflected on the moment Lauren told him she was pregnant with Fun, one of the happiest, yet most terrifying, chapters of Michael's life. His fear of not being good enough as a father resurfaced, and Lauren reassured him, as she did then, that he'd exceeded every expectation. An uninvited guest walks in. But because no Y&R romantic milestone is complete without an interruption, the night took a sudden turn when Phyllis Summers arrived unannounced. Mistaking the setup for a casino-themed event, she quickly realized she had barged into something much more intimate. Michael's frustration was immediate, while Lauren tried to preserve the peace. For her, the connection between the three of them, messy, complicated, but rooted in decades of loyalty, couldn't be ignored on a night celebrating endurance. Lauren insisted that past conflicts shouldn't overshadow the current moment, and the trio managed to reset long-standing tensions long enough to reflect on the friendship that survived countless storms. Phyllis, in a rare show of vulnerability, admitted she admired their relationship and envied the strength they'd built. After offering her congratulations, she stepped out, leaving Michael and Lauren to reclaim their evening. A shift into painful memories. Once alone again, the couple returned to the heart of Michael's plan, not just celebrating the joyful parts of their marriage, but acknowledging the difficult ones. This anniversary wasn't about pretending the bad times never happened, it was about honoring how they survived them. Michael opened up about the terror he felt when he believed Lauren had died years earlier, reliving the crushing grief he'd carried before learning she was alive. Lauren, in turn, revisited her own mistakes, including the affair that nearly shattered their marriage during the most chaotic period of their son's life. They did not shy away from his cancer battle either, a chapter that left them fearing for both his life and their future intimacy. The honesty between them was raw and unflinching, a reminder of how much they'd endured and how far they'd come. Even after 2 decades, the weight of those memories still lingered, but instead of tearing them apart, the reflections strengthened their resolve to stay connected. A future-focused surprise. With the emotional journey complete, Michael revealed the final surprise of the evening, luggage wrapped in a bow and a card announcing a trip to Las Vegas. This wasn't just a romantic getaway, their sons Fawn and Scott would be joining them, turning the celebration into a family milestone. Lauren was delighted, touched, and even more convinced that their next 20 years would be just as unpredictable, passionate, and meaningful as the first. As they danced in the quiet dining room, Michael confessed that convincing her to marry him all those years ago had been the greatest challenge and the greatest reward of his life. And Lauren, smiling through happy tears, admitted she couldn't imagine her story with anyone else. Today's next update. YNR news story, Lily reconsiders Kane, Sharon confronts Sienna's motives on December 11th. Thursday's episode of The Young and the Restless brings emotional reversals, uneasy confrontations, and new alliances that could shift the power dynamics in Genoa City. What begins as a quiet day quickly turns tense as Sharon Newman presses Sienna Bacall for answers, while Lily Winters re-examines old feelings she thought she left behind. Sharon corners Sienna for answers. At the cottage, Sharon wastes no time once Noah steps away. With the two women finally alone, Sharon uses the opportunity to find out who Sienna really is, and what she truly wants with her son. The protective mother in Sharon can't ignore the red flags, Sienna's sudden presence in town, her connection to Matt Clark, and the speed at which she latched onto Noah's life. Sienna tries to stay composed, but Sharon's direct questions leave her little room to dodge. Sharon worries that Noah, who has already endured painful relationships, including his rollercoaster history with Audra Charles, is walking into another emotional trap. After everything Matt Clark put Noah through, Sharon is terrified her son is once again being pulled into someone else's orbit for the wrong reasons. Sienna insists that isn't the case. She claims she isn't chasing Newman wealth or status, and she certainly isn't trying to manipulate Noah. She admits they've bonded deeply because of shared trauma and their strange connection through Matt. She assures Sharon she genuinely likes Noah and doesn't expect a serious romance to happen overnight. Even with the assurances, Sharon makes it clear, if Sienna hurts her son, the consequences won't be pretty. Noah's awkward run-in with Audra. Meanwhile, Noah has his own uncomfortable moment across town. When he runs into Audra at the GCAC, the tension is immediate. Their messy breakup still hangs in the air, and Audra's recent behavior hasn't made things easier. Sensing Noah's discomfort, Nick steps in quickly, giving him an excuse to escape the encounter before emotions boil over. Audra doesn't stay rattled for long. Holden Novak soon appears to smooth things over after their recent blow-up. Both are sitting on secrets Claire Newman could expose at any moment, and time is running out. Holden and Audra begin discussing a truce, and possibly a renewed collaboration aimed at keeping Claire from blowing their past wide open. Lily and Kane face their complicated past. Elsewhere, Lily Winters crosses paths with Kane Ashby at Crimson Lights, and the conversation drifts toward the Abbott Communications launch party. Lily mentions she's attending but isn't expecting the night to be fun. In fact, she's resigned to the idea that it'll be dull and predictable. That's when Kane makes a bold suggestion. he could tag along and help make the night more interesting. Lily hesitates. Their history is complicated, messy, and filled with unresolved emotions. And Kane's recent involvement with Phyllis Summers hasn't helped his reputation. But Kane is quick to explain himself, claiming he was only cozying up to Phyllis as a strategy to catch her slipping. According to Kane, he was hoping she would confess to stealing the AI program, not trying to rekindle anything romantic. Now that things have soured between Kane and Phyllis, Lily seems slightly reassured. The more Kane talks, the more it becomes clear he's been trying, in his own flawed way, to make amends and prove where his loyalties truly lie. As the conversation continues, Lily begins to soften. The frustration she felt toward Kane starts to fade, replaced by something more vulnerable, curiosity about whether a second chance might actually be possible. Lily's reversal of heart. By the end of the episode, Lily surprises herself with a change of heart. She agrees to reconsider Kane's offer and allows the possibility of attending the party together. It's not a full reconciliation, but it is a crack in the door, and Kane is thrilled to see even that small shift. Their future remains uncertain, but for the first time in a long while, Lily is no longer shutting him out completely. Today's next update. YNR News, Melissa Ordway embraces a crazy holiday season filled with chaos, gratitude, and family joy. The holidays may be a time of rest for many people, but the young and the restless star Melissa Ordway is living a very different version of December. Instead of cozy nights and quiet weekends, her holiday season has turned into a whirlwind of travel, filming, parades, and family traditions, and she wouldn't have it any other way. While some might crumble under the pressure of juggling so many commitments, the actress is choosing to focus on the joy behind the hectic pace. For Ordway, this a crazy season has become a reminder of everything she's grateful for. A December packed with work and family. Ordway's schedule this month could easily overwhelm anyone else. With the soap ramping up its holiday episodes, she's spending plenty of time on set in Los Angeles. But her personal life has demanded just as much attention, particularly her role as a full-time mom. Last week, her calendar was especially intense. She flew from Tennessee to Los Angeles to shoot scenes for The Young and the Restless, making sure her on-screen responsibilities were covered. Then, without missing a beat, she hopped right back onto a plane headed home so she could be present for something far more personal, her daughter's Christmas parade. The round-trip haul would exhaust even the most seasoned traveler, but Ordway's priority was clear. Being there for her daughters, Olivia and Sophie, mattered more than catching a breath. Finding gratitude in the chaos. Instead of complaining about her packed schedule, Melissa used social media to reflect on how meaningful the chaos really is. In a recent Instagram story, she described this season with a mix of humor and heart. She summed up her situation with a simple phrase: planes, parades, and a whole lot of gratitude. Ordway explained that she was headed back to Nashville to cheer on her girls during their parade before returning to LA to continue filming with what she lovingly called her favorite crew. Her message made it clear that she doesn't take any of it for granted. The long flights, the back-and-forth schedule, the balancing act of being both a working actress and a deeply involved mom, all of it feels worth it to her. She ended her post by reminding followers that although the holiday rush can arrive quickly, the magic is still there. A Nashville holiday with the Gaston family. Ordway's dash across the country paid off. She arrived in Nashville just in time to catch both of her daughters' Christmas parades, a double dose of holiday cheer. Olivia and Sophie appeared with their cheer squad, waving proudly as crowds lined the streets. Ordway captured the moment with all the enthusiasm of a mom who wouldn't miss these milestones for anything. Back at home, the Gaston household has already embraced the holiday spirit. Melissa, her husband Justin Gaston, and their daughters began decorating for Christmas early in November, wasting no time getting into the mood of the season. Their home has been filled with festive touches, from twinkling lights to ornaments hung with care. One of their favorite family traditions is wearing matching pajamas and settling in for classic Christmas movie nights, a cozy ritual they return to year after year. And with Christmas quickly approaching, the family has more activities and cherished moments ahead. A season to celebrate. Even with more travel, filming, and family events on the horizon, Melissa Ordway is fully embracing everything December brings. She knows the chaos can pile up fast, but she's choosing to see the beauty woven through it, the time with her children, the support of her husband, the work she loves, and the holiday traditions that fill her home with warmth. For Ordway, this season isn't just busy, it's meaningful. And as she moves through one whirlwind week after another, she's holding on to the gratitude that makes it all feel magical. For more of the latest updates and behind-the-scenes secrets from Young and the Restless, make sure to hit subscribe and ring that bell. Stay in the know with every new release.